How are you today? Did you sleep well? I think it's 67 degrees and you can't really feel the I want to say calm, except for when a car goes by, but calm. Yeah. The birds, sun coming up. I cleaned out my fountain filters and so now it's quiet. Cute and doing its real bell shape. Good morning again. Found my seat. It's that time of morning when the cars are moving again. There's no fix for that. I guess we're just going to deal with it. Perhaps I'll change the channel name to Minnie Does Cars. I always have to edit out the swallowing and the lip licking that I do afterwards. Oh, I'll show you shortly. I hope I do. I'm kind of looking at a watermelon. Oh, here, I'll switch the camera real quick so you can just see my view. Perhaps I should be turning this around so that you can see the garden anyway, you know. Let's see, right above the owl's head is one of the smaller watermelons getting quite large. They're going fast. A concern could be, if they're growing that fast, are they going to split? Because I'm having to manually add water. My particular timer on that one seems to be in question. So my other plants are telling me, I mean, I don't know if they're lying. I don't know. So I've been adding 30 minutes. I'm gonna change timers. Oh, listen to me. I'm gonna change timers today. Do you believe me? I don't want you to believe me. And don't count on me for sure. But listen, yes, I have to. I did split watermelons last year. My first watermelon was split, and that's due to erratic water. But it was just the one. It's not like I really was able to change a lot. I mean, there is rain, one can't control that. But yeah, I switched around. What do you think? I'm still in a rocking chair. Listen, this girl does not move. Even my patio furniture has one little love seat and then two chairs that rock. I don't sit there very often. It's just not advantageous. My view is their bathroom window and their shed, and that's the entire view from there. I wanted to have it screened in, and I priced that out, $4,000. And the reason I want to have it screened in is the mosquitoes that we seem to get. They're not here yet, and I get bit. Every mosquito in the world bites me, or is it the females? I did a lot of reading last year. $4,000. Now, my neighbor, his patio kind of faces this way, so faces out. So he's not really blocked by much. He could see the sky, he could see clouds. He could probably even go to one side and see the mountains. And I could get in the far corner and see the mountains if I stood up. But mine is a kind of a corner patio, and it more or less faces the corner of his house. And I did want to sit out here without getting bit though, and you know I want a greenhouse. And I may sound like I'm going all over the place, and I am. I can't afford either one. I also need to paint this house. It is the ugliest shade of baby poop. I think it was meant to be beige. It turned into, if paint can oxidize, or it turned into poop. Like a strange color. I switched positions again. You know, the young YouTubers do that. Even if they're talking to you, they'll switch positions in a room. I say young because everyone I've seen do it is young. It's a technique. And then they come in close or go out just to keep your eye. At my age, at 68, I'm like, no, I don't need you to do that. Just be personable, just be funny, you don't need to. In fact, I'm a little startled by when you get a close-in shot, and it's not that they're moving forward, but they use some technique in their editing, and then you'll see them, sometimes they're sitting on the floor, and then they're sprawled on a couch. Well, they're not sprawled on a couch, and then they're behind a desk, and then they're behind another desk. It's to keep a person visually stimulated. Hummingbird baby's here, little green guy. I'll show you the progress of the moss roses again. I can see them from here. I don't know why I was resistant to getting those. I don't know why. I love them, and I've had them before. And, you know, 2 plants will spread to kingdom come for sure. I watched a Chicago gardener's video yesterday about her wasps digging trenches into her little wooden raised beds. And while I haven't seen any evidence of that, and I may not have a lot of wood here, but I do have a wooden raised bed, I did remember I need to be checking for wasp nests. So I had shredded mulch out in all of my veggies, I believe it was last year. And the bug guy came. I do a bug service for things around the periphery of the house, roaches and blah. And then he comes in once a year and sets a few little traps, you know, not for mice, for roaches. So I was using a shredded bark, which was very pretty, mulch in my plantings, my container veggies, all 40 tomatoes and 40 peppers and 10 tomatoes, which was an absolute disaster. And he came through and he goes, oh yeah, that looks like wasp bedding. And then, or the wasps are gonna love that, or whatever he said. And I was like, huh? So I had to go read on wasps. And I know that the neighbors, couple single ladies, they live separately, had the big tall guy two doors down come and use his little sprayer because they could only shoot straight up, and they build nests under the eaves of our homes, which reminds me I need to go check that. I did look the other day to check and see, but I didn't make a sweep of the house, and I need to do that. Bethany also mentioned, is it carpenter bees? I saw one yesterday. It might even be in a clip I have. I mean, I wasn't able to focus on it, but I think I was talking in a video and happened to see it go by, and I'm like, nah, I hate that. We have woodpeckers too. They hang on the hummingbird feeders. So, yeah, thanks for the reminder. You saw my kind of home fix for the ants climbing up and down some of the plants, especially the sunflowers. And I set out what looked like household ant traps. And they're not traps. You know, the purpose of the taro is the ant gets in, he eats it, it's boric, and he eats it and gets drunk and takes it home to the colony. Ultimately, they're to take it home to the colony and kill the queen. I lived in Virginia in a condo, and one day, I mean, I'm thinking life is good. I'm on a 2nd floor condo on a lake. It was noisy, but what I never expected to see was a line of ants just coming in my kitchen in a 2nd floor condo. I was shocked, and it happened, I want to say about 4 or 5 times in the 2 years I lived there, and they had to be resolved by using the ant traps, and they were effective, but the ant bait, I'm sorry, I mean to say bait, the ant bait, they were effective, but it took days sometimes of ants, just living with ants coming into my kitchen. I didn't have food out, and wait until they took it back to the queen and got themselves all drunk. And I do have very large ants that come in just behind me. There's an opening to the outside. There's a brick that's removed. It's for drainage, I believe. And there's a patterned brick there. And they took the other one out of here, which is bad. And so large ants come through there. And every now and then I have to set out something and just like, unless you're helping me with the mortgage, no, you don't get to live here. Every now and then, I mean, I've seen them and I haven't set anything out yet, but they're not out of hand yet. They might get out of hand when it starts raining, the big ants. Boy, they can tear up a landscape out there. You can see these big piles of dirt. I'm still looking forward to doing a video on other people's plants. I see them as I'm driving by and I'm like, stop the car, film that. And I have before, especially the cacti, and I'd like to do a video on that. Single volunteer zinnia. So cute. I don't know what happened to the other ones. I didn't plant zinnias in this pot. Maybe I should have. There's a watermelon check. Let me get back so you can see them. Oops. All right. So there's one in there. There's one. There's one. There's one up there. There's a little one down there. There's a couple flowers. So that means there'll be more, I hope. Not too much progress here. There's a little guy there. Little one hiding up under here. Of course, I feel like I lost a few starts anyway, a few blooms. You see the difference between that down there, right there was a potential for sure. You can see, but I should have monitored my water closely. This one's very sensitive to water, isn't it? My irrigation's, oh, good morning to you. Hello, hello. Aren't you just so pretty? Look at you. Oh my goodness. You're pretty. This must be a newer one. I don't think I've had, oh yeah, I've had this color. This is one I took out of a container and just to give them more room to grow. Of course, they're stretching pretty tall. Do you see that? Because the sunflowers are blocking a lot of their light. There's two zinnias that did take ant traps, or ant bait. I don't know why I don't see that right. Looks like my marigolds feel like they're not getting enough water, and they might not be. Oh, and I did film yesterday. I've got my first nasturtium bloom of the season. And like I act like I know what's going to happen. Hello there. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Let's bring you into focus. Why are you being so pretty? Why are you being so pretty? I harvested some beans yesterday, and I throw that in the video just now. A few tomatoes, the sun sugar. Of course, you know I always love to make a check. Look at all the potential, the buds and all the blooms of this. This is just one of my favorite plants. I had matching yellow coreopsis here, but both of them have failed for some reason this year. I overwatered. Tell you what, you deadhead these things and they reward you for that. You can see I need to deadhead that blanket flower. I'm gonna have to do something here. I don't know anything about raspberries. This is second year on this, but he keeps falling into my crepe myrtle. This is a little something that came back from last year. I wonder if he's a proven winner. Petunias don't usually come back, not even here. I'm not seeing any blooms on my babe. Oh, yes, I do. There we go. This is going to be that beautiful rose once it blooms. Hope it does. Still need to cut off the powdery mildew that broke my heart. Just broke my heart. Look at, I haven't killed this hibiscus, and I am so good for killing them. I overwater them. Oh, there's two of them now. Yes, hello. That's the, is it called Alaska variety? I just really wanted that variegated. Very nice. In fact, let me manually throw this water on right now. This is my gizmo. I have to turn the water off, turn it back on just to this spigot, not up here and not at the main. And then I'm gonna pop in 30 minutes for today. Of course, we're in the high 90s. It's flashing, that means it'll run. You can hear it. Time for me to run inside. This particular irrigation goes all along, sorry, let me go slow. This bed, delivering water to all of the plants, except for a few I haven't got hooked up that aren't really in a firm place, all the way here. And surprisingly, all the way here. That's a long way to go. And a lot of water being delivered along the way. Total, I have at least 4 timers out here and 1 in front. And I feel like I need an extra, but that's okay. I'll be hitting that timer today, and I'll get that filmed and maybe up for you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me in the garden for coffee this morning. I hope you have a nice day. See ya. Bye.